Hello everyone, it's me Slicks. Welcome back. Today we have some really exciting news. It's for the summoning event on New Year's Eve. It will be for ancient crystals, and I think this might be the best event we ever had in the game in terms of heroes. The three heroes that are in this banner are all crazy good. I think this guy to the right here is the best of them, and he might be one of the best heroes in the entire game. So let's start off with this hero, Cyrus. He's a lord, and he is a tank that deals magic damage. So this is his range. It's a 4-range hero, so that's good to be a tank. Here is his stats: really high HP, pretty good attack. Block 3, the standard. So let's go back here and check his kit out. Talent. Immediately summons one skeleton warrior within 2 tiles ahead when deployed. So what is skeleton warrior? Skeleton warrior. A summoned unit that possesses significant portions of the summoner's hero attributes, able to attack and block one enemy. So it will be like a mini skeleton in front of him that has some of his stats and also able to block one enemy, which sounds really good because that's one extra block. So what is his first skill? Deals 100% area damage to multiplies enemies in range. So this is above average. Usually it's like 100% damage to one enemy, so this is pretty good. Let's check his ultimate out. Legion of the Dead. Summons one skeleton fighter within 2 tiles ahead and increase their and the hero's damage by 100% and attack speed by 60 for 10 seconds. And if your skill is up, it's 150 damage and 100 attack speed, and the cost can be 550. Which is pretty low cost for an ultimate, so you can use this a lot. And I noticed right away here it says skeleton warrior and here is a fighter. So what is a fighter then? A summoned unit that possesses a few of the summoner's hero's attributes, able to attack and block one enemy. Did it say a few here also? Nah, so this is a lot stronger. The warrior has more stats of the hero, while the skeleton fighter has less stats. So this won't be as good, but it seems like he can keep it up a lot, and it also has a block which sounds really good. So here's a passive, Lord of the Undead. 40% of the incoming damage will be absorbed by the hero summons. When the hero receives fatal damage, one of the summons will be sacrificed to resist damage. That sounds really good because he will have 2 extra lives then. And if your skill is up, it is 60% of the incoming damage. I don't think this matters much, to be honest, because the summons will be used as extra lives anyway, so I'm not sure you want them to die. So this feels you don't want this that much. And then we have this King's Wrath passive. When the HP of the hero summons is below 50%, increase its attack speed by 60 and damage by 30. And it can go up to 100 attack speed and 50% damage. So this sounds pretty good. He will deal more damage under 50% HP. Yeah, this sounds good. So here's the most interesting part about him. It is Lord skill. Increase faction allies basic attributes by 50%. Reduce faction allies skill cost by 25%. That's the same as Venoma, so that's not anything new. But this part sounds really good. When an ally is defeated or retreats, increase the damage of other faction allies. So everyone in the Ancestorist, or how you pronounce that faction, gets 25% more damage for 8 seconds, and it can trigger every 12 seconds. So let's say you have a Laurel and remove her and get the rage. Now you also get 25% damage. So this sounds really good. So this is probably the Lord you will use most cases when you play the, let's say Esso. It's easy. Esso faction. It will be this guy if you have him. So let's check his awakenings here. At A1, when summoning Skeleton Fighter, there's 25% chance to summon Skeleton Warrior. This sounds really good, because the Fighter was the ultimate and it had a low rage cap, so it means you can summon the Skeleton Warrior again. Sounds really good. Attack 300 and allies penetration by 5%, so this sounds good too. Two really good awakenings. Third, summon one extra Skeleton Fighter when deployed. Sounds also really good, because it's more damage, more block. So with this and Oleg's Wall, he can have like 7 block. This sounds really good. Rage reading is whatever. It's not bad, but it's not anything special. What is his A5? Upon death or retreat, summon one Skeleton Fighter. This sounds bad. I don't like this for an A5. The first 3 was really good, so you probably want him A3, then it's whatever. Because if he's already dead, this doesn't matter that much. So what would I give this hero? I would probably rate him 8.5, and that's high because I don't rate many heroes above 8, and I will give him 8.5. So moving on to the next hero, Idin. He's a chaotic and a cultist hero. He's a fighter with magic damage, multi-target attack, and execution as Vierna. And we all know how good she is. Let's check his stats. On max level, still same range. 18k HP, so it's a bit on lower side, but he's a fighter. They usually don't have that much HP. Attack is 6.1. That's really high. So it's on the higher edges. We probably deal a lot of damage. It costs 20 though, so it's pretty expensive. But let's see what he does. Talent. After the ultimate is cast, basic attack will turn into Phantom Strike for 15 seconds. If the ultimate is cast when Potent Surges maxes out, basic attack will turn into Soul Harvest. So we have 2 different states of the ultimate here. So it's dependent on this Potent Surge. Let's read what this is first. Rage can continue to recover up after reaching its cap. So when he's maxed, it can't keep going. Like overpowers Rage. Accumulating up to 2 times the cap. All rage will be consumed when casting the ultimate. So this means you can wait longer and get a stronger ultimate. So that's really nice, because I really can just use the ultimate as always or make it even stronger. So what are the different ultimates here? Phantom Strike. Deals 150% area damage to at most 10 enemies in the range of the ultimate. I mean, it's 10 enemies, 150 damage, but it doesn't sound that good. But at the same time, it is a talent. It sounds like decent. So what is Soul Harvest then? Deals 120% damage, area damage 2 times to 10 enemies. So it's a lot more damage than this. But if it costs 3 times as much, it's actually lower value, because it's only 240 compared to... Yeah, what will this be? This will be a lot more if you just want the max damage you can reach over time. But sometimes you don't want to use your ultimate, and then it becomes stronger. So it's a net positive in case you want to use it. And maybe something here empowers it. We have to see. Basic attack deals 100% area damage up to 5 enemies. So this is also above average, because it's 100% damage to 5 enemies, which is pretty good, His ultimate, Obliterating Blast. Attacks up to 10 enemies in a large range ahead, dealing 300% area damage and inflicting stun. The stun lasts for 1 second. 1 second on 10 enemies is pretty good though. When Potent Surge maxes out, like the rage cap, attacks up to 10 enemies in a large range ahead. Oh, here we can see the multipliers, dealing 800% area damage and inflicting stun for 3 seconds. Oh, this sounds this might be broken. Let's see here. 200% more damage to the normal, so it's 500% there, and it's 400% here, with the skill cost going down to 800. This sounds broken. So this sounds a lot better now, because you will get 1200% area damage up to 10 enemies, and his attack was pretty high. So this will deal an insane amount of damage, and on top of that, stun them for 3 seconds. This almost sounds too good. This sounds really good. Might be one of the best ultimates in the game. So what are his passives? A lower HP grants higher rage regen with a maximum increase of 9 when HP reaches 30%. It's because it's a chaotic, so he gets stronger the lower HP he has. And it's 4, 5, 6, so it's 15 more increase of rage, which sounds really good. It sounds like he can cast this a lot at low HP, which will make him crazy good. Also, with a good chaotic leader or a cultist leader, I think this guy can deal some insane damage. So what is this passive? When dealing damage using Soul Harvest, there is 20% chance to execute enemies, but not elite and bosses, whose HP is below 25%. When receiving fatal damage during the effect of Phantom Strike and Soul Harvest, the hero enters unyielding, which can be triggered up to 1 time per deployment. So what is unyielding? Will not die from taking damage. So it means like when he's about to die, he will become invulnerable from damage for 5 seconds. And with skill up, the execution chance is 40% and the threshold is 35. So it's not like Vierna, because Vierna will execute them, but this guy has instead a 30% chance to execute them below 35. But this guy has some insane damage, so he will execute a lot. And he can also become invulnerable in this state for 7 seconds. He sounds really good. Reduces cost in arena by 5. Yeah, he might be used in arena also, because he sounds really good. Let's check the awakenings here. During the effect of unyielding granted by Arbiter of Death, increase attack speed by 200. Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot for A1. When the effect ends, also restores 50% HP. This A1 is really good to be A1. Probably one of the better A1s in the game. A2, crit damage 15%, decent, but nothing special. A3, when Ponted Surges maxes out, the damage of Obliterating Blast ignores 40% of the target magic res. Oh, do you understand how much 40% is? Oh, this sounds crazy. If you get this guy to A3, he will deal some crazy damage. Holy, this is so good. Or another 8% penetration in A4, pretty good, but yeah, nothing special. Especially when it has this. This gives this lower value. What is this A5? For each enemy taking damage from Obliterating Blast, increases attack by 5% for 15 seconds, stack up to 5 times. So he already deals insane damage, and he can get 25% more damage. This guy might be able to deal some of the highest damage in the game versus multiplayer enemies. He sounds so good. Like, really good. But what score do we give this guy? I want to give him a 10, but I think I will give him a 9. And the reason for that is it can sometimes be hard to utilize a ground fighter with 2 range. It's harder to use, and because of the use case, I will give him a 9. His power is definitely 10, but because of use case, I will give him a 9. So still really good. So let's check this guy. I've been hyped for this guy from the first time I saw him. I haven't playtested him yet myself, but I think this will be one of the best heroes in the entire game. This guy looks so good. Let's start checking with his details. And we can start with this. He is a marksman, magic damage dealer. He's an arbiter and piercer. So he has 2 lords that can boost him really good. This guy with an Araka, I think he can deal some crazy damage. He gets 1 extra range up here, but his range is still really good even without this. So this is just extra range, which is nice. Almost 4k attack. It's pretty high to be a marksman. It's not the highest, but it's above average, I would say. So let's check his kit here. Talent. Summon tides every 12 seconds, dealing 200% true damage. This sounds so good to be a talent. To targets in range with a 30% chance of inflicting 1 stack of radiant erosion. And this is more true damage. And I've seen this in play and it's pretty good. It's some extra nice damage. As time elapses in battle, the damage of the tides will increase gradually, and its trigger interval will be shortened. So the longer the fight goes, the more damage this will deal. So I think this can deal a lot of damage. Let's say gear raid 1. We haven't read his kit yet, but I have checked him out before, and I think this might be the best hero in the game for gear raid 1. Comet can go to sleep. Who is Comet? So let's read his abilities here. Here's an area magic attack. Deals 100% area damage to multiply enemies. We don't know multiplier how many it is, but it's more than one, so it's pretty good. We have his ultimate, Poseidon's Fury. Attacks one enemy in range, dealing 400% area magic damage, up to 10 nearby enemies, and inflicting 3 stacks of radiant erosion on the main target. And if you scale it up, it is 600% damage and 600 rage. So this doesn't sound like... Why do I think this guy is crazy? Because this sounds good, but it doesn't sound like anything special. Let's keep reading his kit here and you will see why. Ocean's Mark. Poseidon's Fury has a 60% chance to create tidal vortex at the target's location, lasting for 3 seconds. Scale it up, it's 80%, lasting for 5 seconds. Let's read Tidal Vortex. The Tidal Vortex consistently draws enemies toward its center, so it will pull people in, so it's CC, dealing 100% area magic damage per second, so it will deal damage to everyone. So 100% area damage for 5 seconds at max stack. That's a lot of damage. Enemies are, if the enemies are afflicted with radiant erosion, if they have it like the radiant erosion on them, 1 stack of radiant erosion will be consumed, dealing 600 true damage to the enemies. Do you understand how good this is? 600 true damage. This is so crazy. And with his ultimate, he gives 3 stacks to the main target right away, which will help with this true damage here. So let's keep reading here. We have the Tidal Barrage. When there are more than 5 enemies in range, there is a 30% chance of casting Poseidon's Fury. So when there's 5 or more enemies, there's 30% chance of casting the ultimate. And you can trigger it 2 times in a row, so you can cast double ultimate. If there are more than 10 enemies, the trigger chance is doubled. And with this skilled up, 8, what is this? 4, 6, 8, 10 is 40% when there's 5 enemies. When there's 10, it's 80% chance of casting his ultimate. Do you understand how good that is? It's so good. Because everything is stacked with his ultimate. The Radiant Erosion, and then we have the Tidal Vortex. This is why I think this guy is really good, because his kit synergizes so well. The only downside is he's at 22 cost, and that's pretty expensive for a marksman, but I still think he will be crazy. So let's check his awakenings here. A1, each tide released restores an additional 10% rage. So more ultimates, more of everything, so this is good. Attack plus 5, it's fine. It's a extra attack, it's nice. A3, Poseidon's Fury deals damage up to 4 more targets. It's good. It's good for Gear Raid 1, but it's not that often you deal damage to more than 10 enemies. But for Gear Raid 1, this will be good. Then we have crit rate 8%. Nothing special. It's a bit easier to crit cap him, and you can get some extra more stats on him, but nothing special. A5. Basic attack has 10% chance of creating Tidal Vortex, and I think this is really good also because the Tidal Vortex sounds like it deals some insane damage, so having 10% more chance to proc it on normal attack sounds really good. So what score do I give to Pelagius? I will actually give this guy a 10. I don't give out 10s that often. Silas has a 10. I think Silita has a 10. I'm not sure if I have given 10 to anyone else. So I think this guy will be one of the best heroes in the game. I will definitely summon all my shards I have. And I think this will be one of the biggest whale events we will ever have in this game. They will go crazy for this event. So, hope you liked this video. What are your thoughts on these three heroes? Will they be as good as I think? Or do you think they will be better? Worse? Let's see what you think. Thank you so much for watching the video. And see you in the next one. Bye!